Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to Stand Up Moto. Now, last week I was returning a motorbike that I had been doing a review on back to Moto Adelaide here in South Australia. And as I was leaving the store, I spotted this BMW F 900R sitting on the showroom floor. And I said to the sales manager, chap by the name of Joel, nice bloke, funny looking, but nice bloke. That's the pot calling the kettle black. I said, they've changed the colours on the F 900. And he said, it's not just the colours they've changed. Threw me the keys and said, I'll see you next week. So this is my review on the BMW F 900R. Actually, maybe he was throwing the keys at me. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. Now today we're looking at the 25 model of the BMW F 900R. And this is a seriously quick, agile bike that, to be honest, I thought was just more of a sports bike. But it's a whole lot more than that, and a whole lot of changes have been done over the previous model. This was a very, very fun ride in the few days I had with this bike. As usual, at the end, I will give you my summary and conclusion. But for now, let's get started. The motor itself, 895cc. It's a parallel twin, 2 cylinders, double overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, fuel injected, liquid cooled. It produces 105 horsepower and 93 newton meters of torque. Now, to put that into some sort of perspective for older guys, boomers, people of my generation, the Kawasaki, the Z1, or the Quacker 9 as we used to call it, it was a great bike in its day, for sure. But, and I remember the first time I rode one, I was, what was I riding? I think a GT750 at the time, and I rode this Z1. It produced 82 horsepower, or 81 horsepower or something, and it weighed 246 kilograms wet. And I thought that bike was so fast, so fast. These new machines, they have just got massive power. They go so well, but the difference is they've got the suspension and brakes to back it up. Okay, time to give her a run from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. That's about 62 and a bit mile an hour. We're currently in road mode. So on the right-hand control, there is a mode button. Let's press it road. Dynamic, we want Dynamic Pro. That's the one we want. Okay, visor down. Probably a bit echoey now, but anyway, let's see how we go. See how we get off the mark. 3, 2, 1. Oh, not bad. Oh, I don't know how long that took, but that wasn't long, was it? Wow, she's got some stick. I think we should do that again. Still nothing behind. No. Let's roll to a stop here. Still in Dynamic Pro. Yep. Well, that wouldn't have changed, would it? Because I didn't press the mode button. See if I can get off the mark a bit better. 3, 2, 1. Oh, just hop the front wheel. Wow. Look, I think once you practice the launch, this is a very quick bike, isn't it? I like that. So how's it look and sound from outside the bike without all the wind noise? How fast is that quick shifter? Front brakes, dual 320mm floating disc rotors. That's about, what, 12 3/4 inches, I guess. 4-piston Brembo, radial calipers, of course, hydraulically operated. And the brakes, have we seen that yet? I don't know if we've seen it in my review. Yeah, superb brakes on the front. Rear brakes, 265mm rotor. That would be about, what would that be? 250 is 10, about 10.5 inches, I guess, in the rotor. Single piston floating caliper, of course, hydraulic once again. I can't see a brand name on that, so that's probably BMW's. But yeah, I mean, not that you rear brakes a heap, do you? You can see the ABS ring there. Oh, well, you do actually use the rear brakes when you're out on the track. You can see the ABS ring there. As far as the rear wheel is concerned, a 550/17, once again, cast aluminium, and you can see it's got the offset spokes. So the disc rotor itself runs inboard. You can see it's running the Pirelli, Diablo, Rossos on the back as well. Okay, we'll give the brakes a quick check. Yeah, bit of a roadkill there, nothing behind us. No, let's get her up to 100. There we go. Oh, we'll put it in a bend as well. Add an element of difficulty. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Oh, BMW and their Brembo brakes. Wow. They're impressive beats of kit. They really are. So I'll do that again from outside the bike view now. And this is once again 100 kilometers an hour, 62 mile an hour. Take note of how straight it pulls up. Yeah, that's BMW's Moto Adelaide ABS Pro. I notice also that the hazard lights deploy under heavy braking. Front forks, 43mm inverted fork, as you can see there. And they've got adjustable dampening, rebound, compression dampening, as well as spring preload. And it's nicely tagged on here, so you can see what you're doing. If you've been on a track day and your session's about to time out and you're trying to get your suspension set up and you forget, oh, which one does what, you're putting your cable tie around here, you're trying to get your dive right, etc. It's nicely labelled, so that's always a handy thing. 5 and a bit inches, about 5.2, I think it is, 5.3 inches of travel. That's 135mm, ample for this bike. And that's how your adjustments look at the top of the fork. So there's no trying to remember what screw does what or what nut turns this or that. Nice, simple, easy to read. Rear suspension. Aluminium double-sided swing arm, or I guess if you're in the US, aluminum double-sided swing arm. Central strut up in here, hydraulically adjustable preload. There's your knob there, so it's nice and easy to get to and adjust. You're not getting out spanners and things, which is always nice. Adjustable rebound and dampening. Where's that? Down on that side here. I don't know if this model you can get the optional dynamic ESA, which is the electronically adjustable from up in the cockpit. But yeah, all this very simple to get to, operate and clean. So how does all that nice suspension translate to riding it in the hills? Yeah. This just launches. 105 horsepower, I suppose it should too. That quick shifter is just superb. Look at this, it's just effortless through those S's. Might be a bit of wind noise coming in there. I'll close the visor. Got to be careful, still a little bit of damp on the road. You only have to lean on the throttle and it's away. Catching up a vehicle there, so I'll just slow up a little bit and talk about the bike. Look, comfort wise, it's a very comfortable bike. I was a bit surprised. I rode the previous model and that was a very good bike. Nothing behind me there, no. just instantaneous power. So I started talking about the comfort levels before I got carried away with just how well this bike accelerates and turns in. It is brilliant. Look, even for an old dude like myself, who generally after 3 or 4 days on this style of bike, I'll start to get a bit of a sore neck and a sore lower back. I didn't suffer any of that at all. So kudos for the designers for getting the ergonomics right. Compared to the previous model, they have brought the handlebars forward and down a whisker. The foot pegs have been moved rearward just a little, so your weight is moved forward on the bike. It's a good, aggressive riding position. You always feel in command of this bike, no matter how tight the turn gets. It is a very, oh, look at that, right over to the left-hand side of the road. Put the indicator on 20 feet before the corner, 6 metres, and then turn right. Never mind, stay wary, riders. So yeah, I have no complaints at all. For this style of bike, I found it really comfortable. And this will all look a little weird to you, of course, if you're in a part of the world where you ride or drive on the right-hand side of the road. But all in all, yes, I was pleasantly surprised with the comfort levels of this bike, especially this style of bike. As I said, they can often be a little bit uncomfortable, especially as you get up in years, but no, I found it fine. What about under the seat? There's a little keyhole over this side. Put it in, turn it, I felt that click. There you go, seat comes off. I like that, the way it's embroidered into the seat. That's not just a transfery sticker thing. It's actually embroidered into the, what would you call this, vinyl, whatever it is. Under the seat, little storage area there, I would assume. What would you put in there? I suppose that's for the books. Little tool kit at the back of the bike here. I suppose your fuses. Yeah, there's really no storage. Oh, there's a fuse there. Really no storage area under here. Where's the access to the air filter? I have to do some research there. But yeah, that's pretty neat and tidy underneath the seat. Put him in there, slide it back, click, and it's on. The rear lighting on this one, it's got the integrated light setup. So your tail light, brake light and indicator light, all within the one housing. Oh, your number plate light, of course, is under there, and a reflector there. What do you think? Turn on the ignition. So there's your tail lights. They're probably strobing, I guess, on camera, but they're not. That's a constant light. There is your brake light. And of course, indicator, actually what I'll do, I'll hit the hazard lights. That'll turn on all the lighting at the back. Then I'll pull the brake light on. Do you think it's too much in the one or not? Personally, I think it looks great. But does it blend in a bit too much? Let us know your thoughts. So what about using the F900 as a city commuter? If you're not roaring through the hills, yeah, more than capable. Remembering, of course, it has no storage on it whatsoever, so you would need to put on a top box or maybe a backpack or something like that. But it's a small bike, as in physically, it's a small bike. Its maximum width, or the widest part of the bike, which I think is the end of the, is it the tips of the mirrors or the handlebars? 870 millimeters. That's about 34 inches. So for filtering, it is excellent for the filtering side. It is light. I mean, that weight that we spoke about, actually, I believe they took out that 3 and a bit kilos, or what was it, 6.6 pound, mainly out of the wheels for this new designed model, which is nice. 270-degree crank, so it's smooth. It's silky smooth, no vibes. The mirrors remain nice and clear. It's only a 33-inch seat height, as we mentioned before, so more than manageable. I'm not the tallest guy in the world at 5'10", and I can flat foot easily on this bike. What have I got set up? About a 2-inch sag on the rear suspension, which is where I like it. Some people like it a bit more firm than that. The problem when you set it too firm, of course, is that when you hit those severe bumps, you'll get a jarring come up through the back. Fuel capacity, 12.9 litres. That's about 3.5 US gallons or 2.8 UK gallons. So actually what I did as I was coming into town, I did run through the computer. I'll just find that bit and I'll insert it here, and we'll be able to have a look roughly at what range we should get out of the bike. So we had a run up through the hills and then a bit of city work on the freeway. What are we getting litres per 100? We'll scroll through and there you go, 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres. I think that's remarkable for a bike that develops 105 horsepower. Wow. So that's a bit of 70 mile an hour, 110 work, 80 work, 60 work, climbing up the hills. Flick it back now and come back through to the fuel gauge. And that's just by pushing that menu button. And there we are. Very good. Little Alpha's keen to go. Never owned an Alpha. Maybe there's a reason for that, but then again, maybe one day, never say never. So if you're planning on using the F900 on a daily basis, it would be fine as a city commuter. I stopped and had my mandatory cup of coffee. It was easy to reverse in. Seat height is good. Once you worked out some form of storage options, yeah, it'd make a great daily ride. Exhaust system, I think that's a pretty cool looking standard exhaust, to be honest. Runs underneath the bike and then upswept here. Nice solid brackets onto the rear foot peg mount. But something BMW, I noticed in the accessories catalogue, they've got the Akrapovic, or how would you say, Akrapovic, however you say it anyway. And I'll just butt in with a quick voiceover here. This is a picture of that silencer, straight out of BMW's catalogue for the F900R, from their accessories catalogue. As an accessory, so I would assume that the Akrapovic has had homologation in order to be able to be sold as a standard accessory for this bike. And why is that important? Because of course, if you're in a part of the world where you're not allowed to modify the bike at all with aftermarket type exhausts, if it's a genuine accessory, BMW have done the homework with Akrapovic so you can run the sports muffler on the bike without getting yourself in trouble. That's good. This is the standard exhaust system, so this is not the accessory exhaust, the Akrapovic that you can get to bolt on here, which of course would be more throaty. But let's see how it sounds. Microphones never really do exhaust notes justice. Fairly quiet and idle. You can hear a bit of a throaty sound though. That's not too bad. Bit quiet, but it's not too bad. I don't know if you noticed then though how crisp this throttle response is. It is just so crisp. You just touch it and bang, it's away. Now, something that often gets overlooked with bike reviews is, yes, they go fast, they turn fast, they stop, they do all this, but what are they like at low speed? And as you can see, this area that I'm in here, 20 kilometres per hour, it's only 12 mile an hour, and that's because it's a recreational area, lots of children running around having fun. But with bikes, you still need to be able to manoeuvre them in and out of situations. This really handles it well, which is sort of rare for a sports-oriented bike. Yeah, that's impressive. I don't know if I pointed out before when we were looking at the motor, there's the oil filter, so it's just a can, screw-on filter, nice and simple. A little bit of tin foil to build yourself a guard there, I guess, when you're taking it off. As far as the drain plug is concerned, you can see there it's just a plug in the sump. Nice, easy. Of course, on this style of bike, you haven't got sump guards and things to take off, so pretty straightforward to do your own oil changes. It's got nice quick release springs on the side stand. If you're taking that off during a track day, you can see the alloy pegs there, alloy gear lever, and these massive air intakes, one on the right hand side, one on the left. So yeah, nice and breathy. And as you would imagine, on the freeway, it is as good as gold. Of course, merging, not a problem. I mean, you're just about at freeway speed, 110 kilometres an hour, about 70 mile an hour. You're just about there in first or second gear, aren't you? But yeah, nice, good. It's not revving very high at all. You can see there, it's down around, what is it, just under 4,000 RPM. So that's good for your fuel efficiency too. I didn't get a chance to try the headlights, but if it's anything like
every other BMW that I've ridden, I'm sure they will be fine.
Speed limit here is 110 in top gear. I'm only doing 80. What's it like to accelerate away for an overtake? Wow, yeah, that's really good. And that was top gear. Gee, I thought I may have had to shift it down, but no, I didn't. Wow, that's quite talky.
So as we come down through the ranges, you can see that sign there on the left, long, steep descent, and that's all the way down into the city of Adelaide. Speed limit reduced to 90 kilometres per hour. That's about 55 mile an hour. You can see the vehicle in front riding the brakes the whole way down. You do not have to touch the brakes on this bike. It's just sitting along in top gear beautifully.
Fortunately, it's got auto cancelling indicators, so I've just flicked the right hand indicator on there. Nothing behind me, and I'll just pop over into the right hand lane. In the lane now, and the indicator will shut itself off. There you go. And I've had people say to me, well, why is that important? I'm going to do a video on just why self-cancelling indicators are a good idea, especially for young or new riders. You don't have to be young, do you? You have to be a new rider, but yeah, they're an important thing, and it's lovely to see that this bike is fitted with it.
Rake and trail, 28-degree rake, 4 and a bit inches in the trail. You can see the radiator a little bit better here now, a little guard in front of it. Get your arm out from in front of the camera, Steve. I guess if a bird or something went through, that would give you a bit of protection. You can see the steering damper down in here, nice little steering damper, so you're not going to get the dreaded wobbles at speed. As you've seen throughout this entire video, the F900 has got BMW's brilliant 6.5-inch TFT screen, and you'll see the red line. I'm pointing at it there is right down low. That's while the bike is cold. As the bike heats up, gets up to normal operating temperature, that red line comes back up the screen to the normal red line area. I think that's a good idea so you don't overwork it when it's cold, I suppose. What else has it got? Look, it's completely configurable. There's your track screen there, and you've got braking and DTCs. You set it up, My Vehicle, so you can configure it how you want. It has, of course, got Bluetooth. There's navigation in there. It's all operated off of the whiz wheel with the menu button on the left-hand side. Nice and simple. Right-hand side, start button mode, heated grips. Nothing too confusing there. And as I love, adjustable levers on both the front brake and, of course, the clutch lever. It comes in 3 colours. The Snapper Blue, which of course is the one we've been riding here today, the Triple Black, and the Sport, which is this one here. It's got the little engine cowling at the bottom there, bar end mirrors. I think apart from that, it's pretty well the same. Covered by BMW's 3-year warranty, or if you opt to get it serviced at a BMW dealer, they will extend that to 5 years. So that's a pretty healthy warranty. Well, a sad day today because I have to take this beautiful, quick and trick bike back to Moto Adelaide, but here are my final thoughts. So what is my summary and conclusion of the BMW F900R? As you know, I've been riding this bike for a week now. This is a very good bike. It is fast, it handles well, it's laden with all of the modern tech. If you like quick sports, roadster style bikes for a little over 17,000 Australian dollars, and you can Google that, that's AUD, put it into your own currency, that'll give you a guide on the price. I don't think there's anything this bike hasn't got. And if you like doing a track day on a Sunday, and you're going to run with the head of the pack on this bike, in class of course, but you're going to run with the head of the pack on this bike, but then you can ride it to work on Monday, I think it would be pretty hard to go past the BMW F900R.